Hi, I'm John Matthey.
And I'm Meg Spirito.
We are from the Slippery Rock Student Counseling Center. The situation we're in right now has made us all homebodies. But just because, we're at home, we're spending more time at home, staying inside, does not mean that we have to ditch our social life. So today we're going to have a conversation together, about how to stay connected with others while keeping, a social distance from others.
So the first thing we want to do is define and also differentiate two terms: social distancing and social isolation. So social distancing is deliberately increasing the physical space between people to avoid spreading illness, whereas social isolation describes the absence of social contact and can lead to loneliness. It's a state of being cut off from normal social networks, and it can also involve staying home for lengthy periods of time, having no access to services or community involvement, and little or no communication with friends, family, and acquaintances. So we feel that it's important to differentiate those two terms, because when we talk about social distancing, we really want to make sure that we're staying away from social isolation.
Yeah, so what Meg just said, that kind of brings us to, why is this important? Why do we talk about this stuff? What is the importance of staying connected to others? And really one point I'm going to make is, being connected with others, it makes us feel safe. It makes us feel secure. We're able to share experiences with each other. And this can be such as just, a general conversation with a friend, family member, playing games, sharing thoughts. And, an overall part that we need when we're connected is just, giving support to each other, especially in a time like this.
And being connected to others increases our own self-worth as well. It helps us feel wanted, and like we're able to share our time and share the way that we're feeling with others.
So something else that we want to talk about when staying connected with others is that it helps reduce the feelings of, depression or sadness. Being connected with others, we can talk to people how we're feeling. We can get comfort, we can get support. And like what Meg talked about earlier, the social isolation part, is isolation is a symptom of depression, and it can increase your depression. So a lot of those times we talk about, we have to actively work against that desire to isolate in order to maintain our healthy relationships, our connectedness with people. And this improves our sense of belonging, and overall it increases our self-worth.
And the same with anxiety. If we feel alone, we tend to get anxious about doing everything by ourselves. So knowing that we have others to talk to and share our thoughts with helps us see things from a different perspective, and shows us that we have people on our side.
In going with that, the being connected with others, having that social support, it gives us an overall higher sense of well-being. And this can be psychological and physical. Really, basically, it feels good to have people that care about us, and vice versa. It makes us feel good when we can care about somebody else and support them as well. For us to have a sense of belonging, that doesn't mean we have to have this massive friend group, but just rather, we can have a couple important figures in our life that we trust, that we're happy around, that we can do things with and share things with. And it kind of goes back to that old saying, like, I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies, if we think about it in that way.
And knowing that we have a group of people that we belong to makes us feel less isolated. And now especially, that's something that's really important, is that even if we are by ourselves physically, that we don't feel isolated.
In our last video, we talked about structuring out our day to do different things with people and with our relationships. And that's something you can watch in our last video, but I do want to just reiterate some of those points. When our days are structured, we have a better understanding of ourselves and our needs. We can be paying attention to when we need alone time, self-care, and connection. Once we are aware of our needs, right, we have to be able to ask what we want in relationships or with anything kind of at that time. And how do we, stay connected to people to get that stuff. And again, setting boundaries is a crucial thing to do during that, just for ourselves, well-being, and protecting our relationships. Some things we can ask ourselves is, what do I need from others? What do I need from myself? And what do others need from me? By asking ourselves that or thinking about those things is kind of the way that we can, keep connected and also help each other out, and also get things for us that we might need from somebody else.
In a culture that is really dependent on physical distance right now, we have the opportunity to create a new normal for ourselves. As I said previously, this is a really character revealing time. And so we each have that chance to decide who we want to be. So with a little creativity, we allow ourselves to reach new potentials. And maybe those are potentials that we never really even imagined in the past. This isn't a time of sitting still and doing nothing. By remaining connected with those around us, we have the ability to set a new standard for our relationships moving forward. And so we really want to encourage you guys to see this time as a potential for growth in a lot of areas of our lives, but specifically today, we want you to see that within your relationships. I'm sure that many of you have already begun to get creative with the way that you stay connected with people that you care about. But we really want to encourage you to prioritize that time with others, even if that's through virtual means, that you're really structuring your day so that it includes staying connected. Because like we've said through this whole video, it can sometimes be tempting to isolate in that way. However, it's really important for our well-being to continue those relationships, to even build and further those relationships during this time.
So I'd like to thank everybody for watching this. If there's any comments or any topics that you feel would be beneficial for students or yourself, please, you can comment below. You can also send us an email and give us a call and, give any feedback that you would like. Thanks everybody, and stay safe out there, okay?